Welcome back to another tutorial of how to create Venom part 5, right? I think it's part 5 at least. So, let's begin. Here's where we ended last time. I think it looks pretty great. And remember, you can use any software you want. You can use Blender, Zbrush. I'm using Zbrush in this case because I am more used to it, so I find it more easy to use for me. I have used Blender, and I think that's an excellent program to use. So go right ahead. This is not about the technical stuff. This is about fundamentals, about how to sculpt. So let's have some fun. So let's begin. Okay, let's see here now. Today we're just gonna refine the anatomy, and we're also gonna start on the head. Finally, we're gonna start to create the head. And I think there are one or maybe two more episodes after this one, and then we're done with him. Then we have a final Venom sculpt, and it's gonna look awesome. So let's do this, guys. I think I'm just gonna start with refining the arms a little bit. Yeah, you see here the forearm muscles. I just wanna make them really sharp, so I'm just taking the damn clay build-up brush and just making brush strokes where I want the muscles to be. And after that, I am just gonna take the damn standard brush and carve in some little stuff, and it's gonna look really great. And then I'm gonna use the smooth brush so everything get a little bit more smooth, because I don't want it this sharp, because I want it to look like more natural. And yeah, it's really hard to make something look natural, but hey, we are all learning, so let's keep working. Okay, I'm sculpting on the forearm muscles. I'm probably gonna take it very slow this episode, because now it's like making the final versions of the muscles. Now we have all this base and all these muscles laid out. Now we just need to sharpen them up and make the details so they really pop, and it's gonna look really cool. So now I'm just going over the forearm muscle here and really showing the direction where the muscles are going. It's really important. And then don't forget about that smaller the muscle I indicated on his arm there. It's really easy to forget, but try to add it. And here we just, like I said before, refining the tricep, really making those separation in the pieces. Really just making it look great, getting all this striation in the tricep. It takes a little bit of time, but when you render it out later, it's gonna look really cool if the muscles are more refined and sharp, because then the light is gonna really show off the muscles, and your sculpture is gonna sure it's gonna look way cooler. And so we just adding some detail and adding some shape and form to the overall deltoids, the shoulder muscle, because it's really important to keep make them stand out a bit, so he looks big and strong. He got very wide shoulders, so it's very important to make sure that they are very visible. It's pretty hard to create anatomy, so when you have done all of this base sculpting part with creating a really good base, take your time to really refine everything, so your base isn't just a big waste. So really take your time on this stage. I'm keeping to adding a lot of different structure to arm, really refining every single muscle. Today we're gonna go through the muscles and we're gonna refine them. You see, I'm just starting to refine, and here you can also learn some basic anatomical things if you just look how I sculpt the muscles. I don't have perfect anatomical knowledge, far from that, but do have some basic anatomical knowledge, so you can just look at how I indicate the muscles to learn some basic anatomical stuff. Yeah, you see, the arms there start to look pretty great. They start to look really strong, and Venom is a very, very masculine looking creature. So it's really important that you give him a lot of sharp corners and all of this kind of stuff. It makes him for the first look more manly and then also look very, very evil. It's a hard thing to keep all these things in your head, I know, but do your best and you're gonna get a really great sculpt in the end. You see there, I'm just sharpening up every single muscle here with damn standard that I want to be deeper. Especially around the tricep, it's very, very deep and sharp and roundish shapes. So I just want to create that first. But don't forget that you need to add fat on top of all of these lines you're creating here, because they aren't going to be the sharp. No fantasy creature should ever have muscles that is so sharp that you can't see any fat, because it ain't gonna look real then. And you want your creature to look more real, so, or probably most likely you want that. Yeah, I'm still just adding here. These are like 2 or 3 smaller muscles that connects there. They just get into one like tube shape. And the 2 muscles on the side there, really, really important muscles that go from the let's see here now. Let's see, so I tell this right. From here up to here. It's really important that you connect them right. You see, it's starting to look pretty cool. But he does look a little bit weird without a head, so I'm really looking forward to start getting a head in there. Yeah, I just think this sculpt is starting to look very, very nice. It's a lot of work, as I've said in other and earlier videos. Probably gonna keep saying every single video I do. Keep working at it and it's gonna become better. Yeah, you see, I'm just sharpening up every single muscle, making it very clear that I know where the muscles are going, and I have a plan in my head, that I have planned this out in my head before. It's really important that you really show that you know where the muscles are going. If you don't, or if you're not sure, I wasn't so sure when I sculpted this, because he has all these poses. The arms, pretty sure, but the legs, I like freaked out, so I didn't know. But I just looked at reference and anatomical studies and all this stuff, and together they like add up, and you can really create this like nice looking piece, because you're always going to be learning. Yeah, and there you see me adding more volume to the tricep and creating that sharp 90-degree corner right there with the elbow. Just to get some more like evil look in there. and you see the point at the elbow, it's always gonna be a straight line with the tricep. It's never ever gonna be with pointing outwards with the forearm. It's always a straight line down with the triceps. So be very sure that you don't make that mistake, because that's a very, very, very big beginner mistake. Just here now I'm creating some striation in the tricep, making them look nicer. Exactly the same I'm doing with the deltoids, of course. You need a lot of this like detail to just make it look better. Yeah, I'm just smoothing it out really, not too much, really subtle, so it keeps the form but adds like this layer of fat. It's a really nice method, but you need to be sure that you have kind of like planned out how you're gonna do a creature like this, because otherwise it's gonna take like a lot longer than it needs to. Yeah, I'm just refining the shapes, just changing some small things, just to get him to look a little bit more cool and a little bit like more, how should I say it, yeah, more cool or something. Yeah, the arm's starting to look pretty darn great now, I think. Now I want to fix the legs, but I don't want to have the feet there right now. Or the hands, because I just want to know how the arm and legs look. The feet and the hands can really make it hard to make you see how the arms and legs really look. So I'm just taking them away, and I'm hiding them, so it's easy to see. Okay, now when I'm looking on I know it's gonna be changed later, but the trapezius, the neck muscle, it looks like a big turtle shell right now, so I know it's gonna be a lot smaller in the end, but now I don't make it look like a turtle shell, because that just looks ridiculous. I created this like Arnold Schwarzenegger sculpture and showed it to a friend in my high school, and he said, "Does he have a turtle shell on his back?" And I got so confused, but then I looked at the image, went home, and just changed it, and I was so much. It was a way better result. So I'm very grateful for that advice I got from him. So I'm giving it out to you guys, so you can also take advantage of that knowledge. So you see, I'm just indicating, and I'm really sure that the collarbones are really like that you can see them. Yeah, you see, I'm still not happy with the back. It looks very bad still. I haven't changed it yet, so yeah, I'm just smoothing out the chest a little bit just to not have it as sharp as it was, because it looked, to be honest, like ridiculous. Because you want a nice base, and then you want to add all of this detail on top. You don't want the detail to be random. Of course you can have some random detail if it looks good, but otherwise don't have this like random detail. Add detail, you gotta learn how to control the detail so it looks random, but you got it figured out all along. And that's something that took me a long time to learn, but it really helped my sculptures since I learned that. So yeah, I hope you guys can really well, I hope you guys enjoy this video. So please subscribe and like so I can keep doing these kind of videos, because I would be more than thrilled to be able to upload more and more of these videos. So please subscribe and like and share this video with somebody that could learn something from this. Here you see I'm just adding volume. I'm adding more and more volume and just refining the muscles. The legs still need a lot of refinements, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah, so now I'm just looking at it to see what I need to change about the arms. And as fast as I find something little, I just go right there and just gone with that problem. Really important that you take the problems when you see them, so you don't leave them hanging, because it's very easy to forget about some small problems. But as I said before, those small problems that you fix, they add up and it's gonna look way better. You see, I'm adding that like cavity in between the chest muscles that make it looks like they are built by only muscle. Makes it look like they are like have this tension that muscles have, and it's really important that you create this kind of tension, because otherwise it's gonna look pretty fake, you know. Yeah, I'm just adding more and more volume. And it's very important to look from on your character from every single angle and really take a look and critique your own work. You gotta learn how to critique your own work. But I haven't told you this, guys, yet. If you create your own like version of something from any of my tutorials, please feel free to like send images or your 3D model to me, and if you want, I can help you to critique it, and we will critique it here on YouTube, so everybody can learn from it. And yeah, please send me that. I would be so thrilled to be able to help you guys. Just yeah, send it on my email. Or just send some images to me on Instagram. Okay, now I'm just refining, or not refining really, but I'm really defining where the like bone is going, and now the muscle. Really important for me that every single muscle in the leg, that it was like this staircase, as I said before, with the muscles right there. So the legs look really big and really strong. Because I want this leg to feel like he can jump like 10 meters up in the sky, and it's gonna be completely natural for this guy because he's so big and so strong. It's really important to just think about this small stuff, like what do I want this guy be able to do and all of this stuff, because that adds so much character, and it's such a nice thing to add to your character when you sculpt something like this. And now I'm refining the one of the larger leg muscles, and now one of the calves. let's see. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that head to be fixed, because it looks awful right now. Yeah, but I think he started to look pretty good out now, if I'm gonna be honest. He started to get those like basic shapes down, but I still didn't like the leg here, I think. I don't like the leg at all. Just need to sharpen up some of the areas to really make sure that it looks like I have some knowledge of what I'm doing. This is really a trial and error and just learning and then showing you guys my process. Let's see. Yeah, you can see how thick the legs are on the top of the legs and how they become smaller and smaller the further down you go. Or thinner, I should say. Here I had a lot of problem between the leg and the pelvis area, because that's a very, very tricky area. Especially when it's not in the classical T pose or A pose kind of thing, because then you don't really have too good of a reference for this kind of stuff. Especially not for someone like Venom. So I just went on Google and looked up a lot of references. Yeah, and here I'm just refining every single muscle, just taking my time and going over each and every one of them. You see, yeah? Yeah, and if you hear some noise in the background, it's just my dog. She's eating right now, so I'm sorry if that's annoying. Okay, now I'm just working on the calves a little bit more and just refine them. And you see there was an error, so I just saw the error really quickly and backed one step. I just continued, so I didn't have that problem for very long. Here, I really want these muscles to be really, really sharp, because I felt like this should be one of the, like, he should be really, really strong. So I'm trying to add all of these, like, ginormous muscles. Let's take one muscle at a time and refine them. Don't think about, I gotta refine every single muscle, because if I think about that, my mind kinda explodes. So I'm just thinking about the muscle that I'm working on right then and there. You see, right? So you don't focus on everything at the same time, because that can be very, very exhausting for your brain. But when you are done, you can look at the entire thing and say, like, and be very, very proud of yourself. Like, wow, did I create this? And I want you guys to feel that way, like, that you, because I promise you, you guys make probably like awesome work. So I'm really would really enjoy to see some of your work. If you follow some of my tutorials, as I said before, just send them to me so I can help you critique them and we can make them better together. And I think that would be really great. Yeah. And now we're just adding some more muscles. Like, we're just adding muscles the entire episode right here. We're just refining everything. And I want this entire tutorial to be in real time. So that's so everything is going like, if you feel it's going a little slow, you can like make the video a little bit faster if you want or something like that. But I want to go through this entire process with you guys and really like make you understand what I'm doing. yeah, like that. We're starting to like get that really nice looking shape on the lower leg. So I kind of like that, but yeah, it's from that angle it starts to look really great. Started to get a really nice looking sculpture. I'm taking the flatten brush and just adding some really nice volumes and planes, and then just smoothing it out so it gets a little bit smoother. As I said in an early episode, I use this smooth brush so much and I can't recommend it enough. But most people don't like it, and I do not understand why, but I love that brush. So please feel free to use it. Just don't overuse it, because then you're gonna destroy your work, and that's not so much fun. Yeah, you can see every single muscle I'm creating right here. Yeah, I'm just indicating the muscles, making them pop more and really make that staircase thing that I said before. Because that's really important to me, that all these muscles look really great. Yeah, but I think it's starting to look great. Yeah, but you see, I'm just taking one step at a time, just refining. Yeah, it takes a long time, but you get a nice artwork in the end. Yeah, the pose starting to look pretty natural, or at least pretty cool. The most important this pose, I would say, is the leg and the feet, because that's where where you're gonna feel the weight of this creature. So spend a lot of time of the leg, from the feet and the legs, at least how they like their proportions towards one another, because it's really important. That's starting to look pretty okay, I think. Using the flatten brush, I recommend that a lot, to just use the flat brush, I think it's called. Planer brush, something like that. Make a lot of planes, so you can really like define where the planes are going, so you don't have this like circles all around your sculptures, because that's not gonna look super great maybe, but it's up to you guys how you want your sculptures to look. Now I think it's time to start playing with that. Yes, now finally we're gonna start with the head. Okay, so here now, let me walk through this. Yeah, defining the jawline, and then just I want the Venom to have an open mouth, so I'm just sculpting the mouth, and he has like very big mouth. So be sure to exaggerate that very much. Venom is a symbiote, but he has a very round head. They still have anatomical landmarks, like in the human head, like the jawline, cheekbones, all this different kind of stuff. Some of them are a little bit more subtle, but they are there. So really make sure that you learn them and to put them in there, so you don't lose the reality of a creature like this. You see, I'm just blocking it in pretty much right now. I'm just trying to create some really cool looking like head, and I think I'm struggling a bit here. But it's starting to, yeah, ooh, it's starting to look really, really cool. Just such a small change with like that mouth and the characters just starting to come together. But then when we're gonna add teeth and all this teeth and eyes, he's gonna look so cool. He's gonna really look like Venom. You see, there was a problem there, so I'm just very subtly doing that. Okay, I'm just seeing how it looks out, smooth out, but I didn't want to keep that. I don't know, I just like to smooth it out, because then I see the sculpture in other eyes, and then when I reverse it so it's back to normal again, I can see the shapes and see how far I've gotten on the sculpture, and that's a really, really good feeling. Yeah, I'm thinking I can change some basic anatomy on the legs right here. Yeah, you can kind of see I'm just adding some basic brush strokes to refine the muscles. Sculpting is not as much work as you think if you just break it into little pieces, take one piece at a time. You should really do that because it gets a lot more fun and you don't not so stressful on your brain. Yeah, but now the legs are starting to look better. That's really, really cool looking. Yeah, I think that's... Okay. So I think that was pretty much everything that I had to say about this tutorial. At least I think so, but let's see here. Yeah, I'm just looking around now to see if it's something I want to change. Yeah, now I'm just using the move brush to change some of the proportions to make it look more real, less exaggerated. Yes, you want it exaggerated, but if you have it exaggerated everywhere, it's gonna look really, really fake. So I'm just trying to take it back a step, and that makes it look better. And it's art, we just want it to look good. The technical part when you're creating a sculpture that's not going to be animated or rigged, the technical part isn't so important. But it's important if you want to texture it, rig it, or all this different kind of stuff that you want to use. But I just want to make a sculpture that looks really, really cool. And on my Instagram, we voted, or my followers voted on which character they wanted me to sculpt. So I gave them some suggestions, and they voted on Venom. So that's why I'm doing a Venom tutorial. So if you want to be a part of the voting, so please follow me on Instagram. My name is Sculpture for Life, just like on YouTube. So please help me with ideas and different kind of stuff of what to create. I would be glad to get that kind of help. I'm just refining every single muscle. Just taking my time and refine it. I consider how the belly looks really cool with the abs, and how everything starts to come together. Yeah, but that was everything for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and like. Follow me on Instagram if you want to vote on which character we should do a tutorial on. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye bye.